Okay, now we're going to start the process of migrating our Home Assistant, which is running on a thin client in our network closet, to our TrueNAS Scale box. So I found this really good article on the Home Assistant community website. It's by a guy named Troy. So Mr. Troy, hats off to you for putting together such a good article. I believe this is the really only true way to set up Home Assistant as a VM in TrueNAS Scale. I mean, it works phenomenal. I've tried it twice already. Haven't had any problems with the migration, but now we're actually going to record a good video of doing it. So the first thing you got to do is add a new Z-ball. It says it needs to be at least 32 gigabytes. So let's go to our data set, fast storage, add a Z-ball. We're going to name it HA for Home Assistant. No comment, Z-ball size. Don't make the same mistake I made in one of the videos that I recorded and give it just 40 megabytes. Let's make sure we give it 40 gigabytes. So with that being said, let's click save. There's nothing else you have to do here. So let's open up terminal. Let's clear out all these former commands. We're going to go to his next step. We're going to pop this out so we can see it. We don't want to copy all three of these lines. We're just going to copy the first two at first. Go back to terminal, and we will SSH to our TrueNAS. Type, put in our password. Alright, we're in TrueNAS, so let's do this. Run this command. It takes just a moment or two. It's a very small file. So, and then also with that second line, it will decompress that or extract it to the from a .xz just to the QCal. File already exists is because we've already ran it once, so that is fine. We could do the remove command, but the file is good. So the next command is, we don't want to copy this whole thing. Is in his instruction, it does say make aware of where your ZVol is stored. So ours is not stored in tank. Ours is stored in fast storage. Copy. So I have found out in some of my trial and errors that you need to sudo this. And we have that. Let's go back and get our ZVol path. I want to copy it, come back here, paste it in, put in our sudo password, our super user, and it will start copying that over to the new ZVol that we created. Alright, see if we got any data written. Yep, should be just about finished. It is done. Alright, so let's create a virtual machine. In his next steps, he said create a virtual machine. So we're going to go to add, operating systems Linux, name, we'll just keep with the scheme, HA, local time, UEFI 90, start on boot, enable display, local bind. I've been binding it to the local interface IP address. Enter a password. I'm not sure why they require this, because when you go to the display, it actually displays your password in clear text. So I would not use my password. I'll just make up a simple one. All right, one virtual CPU. We're going to give it 4 cores and 4 threads, which should be more than sufficient for running Home Assistant. We're going to do, he leaves his own custom, so we're just going to follow him. Model, we did not leave anything but memory. Let's give this 4096. The minimum is 2048. Disk, we're going to use an existing disk type of AHCI, and we're going to go to fast storage HA. So I'm assuming if we had more ZVols, you would have more options to choose from. Network, virtual MAC address. We're actually going to bind it to our VLAN 04 because we want this to be in our IoT network. Next, installation media. You don't put any installation media. You already have the disk set up. GPU, since the system's using the Intel, we cannot use it. And here is a summary of what we're about to create. So 1 CPU, 4 cores, 4 threads, memory 4 gigabytes, 2 being the minimum, using existing disk. There's the path of the disk, and we'll hit save. All right, So let's fire this baby up and then go to display. I don't see why I didn't use my password, because it shows it in plain text. So HA is starting up. We'll give it just a few moments. All right, so here's our IP address. This will change, so we're going to go with a new tab. What did it say it was? 93. Oh, 8123. We should say it's preparing, or we shouldn't say, we should see that it is preparing. We'll pause the video because this did take a little bit of time on the last attempt. All right, so we're ready to restore our backup. So we downloaded a backup a while ago to TrueNAS Scale. Open. We'll let this restore the backup and we will see if Home Assistant's working. Restore. Here we go. Okay, that took about 2 or 3 minutes to restore it. So let's see if we can log in with our admin account. And we can. So Home Assistant looks like it is starting up. We got these little arrows. You can hit submit, it fixes itself. I don't know what that means, but we had those earlier. One thing we need to do is go change our IP address. It's no longer DHCP, it is static. And for everything to work, we need to save here. We should be able to go to the new IP address. There it is. Voila. Pretty easy, guys. I wouldn't do it any other way. Follow Troy's advice. Install it as a VM. Don't use that app. Very, very simple. Have a good one.